There's a saying that goes, a good teacher can change a student's life, but a great teacher can change the world, one student at a time. And that's exactly what this story's about. It's not about fame or success or big awards. It's about one quiet man, one classroom, and one boy who thought he'd never be good enough. This is the story of Mr. Jonathan Hale, the teacher who unlocked potential. It was the fall of 2011 in a small Ohio town. The leaves were turning orange, the air crisp, and the coffee in the teacher's lounge, always lukewarm. At Jefferson Middle School, everyone knew about Class 7, but in a group of kids no one wanted to teach. They were loud, distracted, unmotivated, the kind of class teachers whispered about in the hallway. And that year, the new guy, Mr. Hale, got assigned to them. Most teachers would have tried to switch. Mr. Hale didn't. He just smiled and said, "Every student deserves a chance." On his first day, he walked into a noisy classroom, paper airplanes flying, jokes in every corner, and there in the very back sat a boy with his hood up, earphones in, staring at the floor. That boy's name was Eli Turner. Eli was 12, sharp eyes, messy hair, and a look that said, "Don't bother with me." His father had left years ago. His mom worked late nights at a diner just to keep food on the table. He wasn't a bad kid, just invisible. When Mr. Hale asked each student to share something about themselves, Eli mumbled, "Whatever." The class laughed. But instead of ignoring him, Mr. Hale said softly, "That's fair, Eli. Maybe we'll figure out what whatever means together." Eli looked up for the first time. There was no sarcasm, no punishment, just calm, and maybe, just maybe, a spark of curiosity. Over the next few weeks, Mr. Hale tried something different. He didn't follow the boring lesson plans everyone else used. Instead, he asked, "Tell me your story. Who are your heroes? What shaped your world?" At first, the students rolled their eyes, but slowly, they began to write. Eli handed in a story about his father, a man who used to play guitar on their porch before walking out one night and never coming back. It was raw, angry, misspelled, but it was real. When Mr. Hale returned the paper, there was just one note at the bottom, greater than, "You have a voice people need to hear. Don't silence it." Eli stared at the words. No teacher had ever written anything like that before. He looked up and said quietly, "You think it's good?" Mr. Hale smiled. "I think it's honest, and that's better than good." That tiny moment changed everything. Mr. Hale started reshaping everything. Math wasn't just equations. It was planning budgets for dream trips. Science became testing water from the neighborhood lake. And English? It turned into a story slam, where every student performed their own life story. For the first time, Class 7B was alive. And for the first time, Eli started to care. In January, Mr. Hale gave the class a challenge. He said, "You're going to create something that solves a problem in our community. Anything, big or small. But it has to come from you." Some kids groaned, some laughed, but Eli stayed quiet. A few days later, he walked up to Mr. Hale after class and said, "My neighborhood park's a mess. No one takes care of it. Maybe we could fix it?" Mr. Hale looked at him and said, "We?" "No, Eli, you could lead it." Eli blinked. "Me? I'm just a kid." And Mr. Hale smiled. "Exactly. That's what makes it powerful." Soon Eli had his classmates helping him clean graffiti, repaint benches, plant flowers. They built a small wooden sign that read, "Turner Park, a place for everyone." Local reporters showed up. They took photos, and the next morning the headline read, "Students revive local park, inspire hope." The class that everyone once called the Lost Bunch had just made the front page. After that, everything changed. Teachers started dropping by to see their projects. Parents, the same ones who'd stopped showing up to conferences, were suddenly volunteering. And Eli, he was standing in front of the school board, explaining how students could lead community projects. His voice trembled, but he didn't stop. He stood tall, and Mr. Hale watched from the back, smiling quietly, knowing this was the real test he'd been waiting for. By the end of that year, every student in Class 7B wrote a personal essay called What I Learned About Myself. Eli started like this. I used to think I was nothing special. Mr. Hale didn't just teach me math or English. He taught me that I mattered years past. Students graduated. Life went on. Mr. Hale kept teaching. Always humble, always kind. He never bragged, never sought recognition. He used to say, the best reward is when a student stops needing you. Then in 2021, a letter arrived. Beautiful paper, embossed seal. It read, greater than, Dear Mr. Hale, greater than you are cordially invited to the Ohio State Educators Gala. One of your former students is receiving the Young Humanitarian Award and has requested that you present it. Greater than, see you soon, greater than Eli Turner. That night, Mr. Hale walked into a glittering hall filled with hundreds of people. He felt out of place in his old suit and scuffed shoes. And then, Eli stepped on stage. Now 22, confident, smiling that same quiet smile. He began his speech. This award isn't just mine. It belongs to the man who saw something in me when I couldn't see it myself. Mr. Hale didn't just teach me subjects. He taught me to believe that potential isn't earned. It's discovered. The audience stood and clapped. And when Eli called him on stage, Mr. Hale's eyes glistened. They hugged. A long, silent, grateful hug. And everyone in that room understood what real education meant. Later that night, Mr. Hale returned home, placed the program on his desk, and read the quote printed on the back. It said, greater than, if one teacher can change the course of my life, imagine what 1,000 could do. He smiled, turned off the light, and whispered to himself, tomorrow, I start again. Because for teachers like him, unlocking potential isn't magic. It's a daily choice to look past the noise and see the person inside. And somewhere, in another classroom, another Eli waits, not knowing yet that his life is about to change forever. That was the teacher who unlocked potential. A reminder that one person's belief can turn whatever into something extraordinary. If this story touched your heart, share it, because somewhere out there, a teacher needs to know they're making a difference.